Yeah. Did you guys like my wonderful singing there with the auto-tune on?
Alexa, stop. Girl, she be acting up.
Was Alexa serenading you?
She was. I don't know what she was playing because that wasn't my music. All right.
So I would like to start off with welcoming.
Oh, we started.
Yes, we have been recording. What did you think my? Whoa, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just you being silly. I didn't.
No, that was Trisha. That was the intro I planned for us today.
Oh.
Anyways,
Okay.
so I would like to welcome everyone back to Beanbag Banter, where Trisha, say hi, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
And myself, Sally.
Say hi, Sally.
Banter. Hi, Sally. Banter on our beanbags. I think tonight is going to be a little bit of a different episode because we're actually not going to go through our beanbag and banters today. We're going to dive right in because Trisha and I will be presenting to each other a niche interest of ours.
Woo!
Cue the clapping.
Shout out to our live studio audience.
I'm gonna do my best. I have a lot of notes written so I can talk through everything for our audio listeners. But also look at this one on YouTube if you want to see our presentations.
What she said. I want you to go
first.
Get into it? Yeah. I want you
to go first.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and get started.
While she's getting that ready, her and I were talking about before the podcast about how excited we are just because we know it's going to be completely opposite from each other, which makes it even more interesting. I'm seeing some pictures already.
Okay. Can you see it says Sally's niche interest? Is that what you can see?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. So my niche interest is something that I actually didn't realize was niche until maybe college or high school. I genuinely thought everyone also grew up with this in their lives. And also shout out to my sister for this one because she and I were very into this together growing up. So let's dive in. So today I'm presenting to everyone about the Naked Brothers Band.
Please.
Okay.
Wait, this. I was not expecting you to pull this out.
No, I genuinely think about this so often. I've watched this series probably 10 times all the way through. I repeatedly watch season 3 specifically all the time. This is just so peak childhood TV for me. So first, okay, so this was basically, let me have my notes out so I make sure I can say everything I need to say.
Speak from the heart. Forget the notes.
Okay. No, I need the notes. Some of the things I pulled from the Wikipedia page for this were so unhinged the way it was phrased. Okay, so basically this was a television series on Nickelodeon, and also they had a lot of made for TV movie specials that kind of went along with it. So I want to start off with introducing our cast of characters, okay? So I've labeled everyone in the picture, except unfortunately their manager Cooper was not in the photo. Now I'm gonna go through. I have a little tidbit about who everyone is. So we have Nat and Alex Wolf, and they were already famous Nepo kids because their mom was the creator of the show, and she was also a pretty famous actress, and their dad was actually played their dad on the show. So they're Nepo kids. And then David, Thomas, and Kasim were their real life friends outside the show. that were then like brought on as themselves. And then Rosalina is actually a fake character that's created for the show, played by the actress Ally D'Amico. And we'll get into all this a little bit more. Cooper, the like manager Cooper, he's also real life friend of the guys of Nat and Alex. And that's how they all came to be on the show. Okay. So for other important players, we have Jessie. Now, Jessie's a fictional character played by Jessie Draper, who's the niece of the show's creator, Polly Draper. So she's also Nat and Alex's cousin, the actress. But then Jessie, the character, is the babysitter of Nat and Alex. Okay? Are we following that?
Yes.
And then we also have the dad. He's the real life dad of Nat and Alex. But in the show, they wrote it so that he's actually widowed, despite his wife and the mother of his children being the show's creator.
This picture of the dad looks like an AI created picture.
Well, I wanted to find for this, because I have this section at the end that's like, where are they now? So I wanted to find for this, like, ones of them in the show, and I couldn't find one for him. So this is like a pretty recent one of him, I think. Okay, so now let's dive into like how it starts. So it starts with the Naked Brothers Band, the movie, okay, which was released in 2005. And it's like filmed as like, oh my god, this says Beijing, but it's supposed to just say being, I think. Anyways, it's a mockumentary style movie, and it follows the trials and tribulations of them being like a famous rock band as 6 to 11-year-olds. I think in the movie, like, Alex is the youngest, he's 6, and Nat is like 11. And we also get the performance of Crazy Car, which is like their song, it's like the biggest song. It was played like all over Nickelodeon. I remember like at the time
Can you sing
of
it
the
for
show
us?
being out. Crazy Car. All right. So in this movie,
I'm not
is
familiar
what
with
starts
that one.
No, it's really good. And this spurs then the spin-off television series. And the series is basically the same. They changed like a couple things though. So season 1 comes out in 2007, and it's all the same characters from the movie, except the band is now called the Naked Brothers Band instead of Silver Boulders, which is what the band was in the movie. And it follows the band as they record their first studio album, which is very exciting. And in this series, we get the Banana Smoothie music video, which is like, I think it was like a whole episode surrounded like getting the right music video for Banana Smoothie. We also get like the big like Rosalina is literally created to be Nat's love interest in the show, so that is like also the whole series revolves around that as well. And it ends with the wonderful television special Battle of the Bands, okay? And I have a little blurb from Wikipedia about this. Moreover, Alex becomes mad and runs away when Jessie dates the Timmerman brothers. Along the way, Alex becomes friends with an orphan named...
You would be laughing. You would be laughing about the Naked Brothers Band, Battle of the Bands, Wikipedia blurb.
Along the way, Alex becomes friends with an orphan named Juanita at a skate park. When the boy's father arrives back from his overnight vacation, he starts dating an estranged lady named Betty, who Cooper and Jessie initially hired to clean the mess in the Wolf family's apartment without much success. In addition to a battle of the bands between the Naked Brothers Band and the LA Surfers, the latter featuring lead singer Bobby Love, a manipulative con artist who tries to steal Nat's girlfriend, Rosalina.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? Now, I remember this being crazy, and we also get a wonderful performance of the song LA by the Naked Brothers Band. Okay? So that's season 1. Next we have season 2.
Oh my god, is that Tila?
2008. Yes, because Tila Dunn. Oh my god, it says it auto-corrected to Tesla, but Tila Dunn ends up
Tesla
starring...
Dunn.
But she is Juanita. Like, that's her origin story, is being Juanita on the Naked Brothers Band. Right?
Oh.
So this had 2 TV specials, Sidekicks and Polar Bears. Now, Polar Bears really stuck out to me because I'm pretty sure that's the one where the Naked Brothers band goes to Louisiana and like stays with victims of Hurricane Katrina, and then they also sing a song about climate change and a song that promotes Barack Obama for president. So there's like a lot going on.
Okay.
And finally, and then the whole season, it's like summertime, like they're not in school, the band's preparing for tour. It's very fun. I do remember this being a really lackluster season though. I can't lie. And the season does end with Nat and Rosalina being together, boyfriend, girlfriend, okay, which is very exciting. And now this blurb I have from Wikipedia. The TV movie Polar Bears depicts the ending of the band's tour in New Orleans, Louisiana, where they, along with their babysitter Jessie, reunite with the sibling's father and an old family friend of the Wolves who are victims of Hurricane Katrina. On the ride down there, Jessie accidentally has Alex watch An Inconvenient Truth, and after viewing it, he becomes very concerned about the polar bears potentially becoming extinct due to global warming. During their visit, Mr. Wolf's friend's older daughter, as well as Nat, Kasim, and Rosalina, encounter misinterpretations over their romantic interests before they're resolved, and the band ends up donating the money raised from their performance at an elaborate styled ballroom to a charity supporting climate change. Now, if I remember correctly, like Kasim is like dating or likes the family friend that they went to visit in Louisiana who like is a victim of Hurricane Katrina. Like I think that's where that comes in there. Okay. So that's season 2. Like I said, like kind of irrelevant, low key, except for like the ending. Next we have season 3. This also came out in 2008. Wait, was this 2008 or 2009? I might got the date wrong on this, so like don't quote me on that. But season 3 is wild, let me tell you. Like it truly is a roller coaster. and we are gonna get into why. So basically, the band, it opens up with the band is shooting their initial theatrical film called Magical Mystery Girl Movie. Nat stars as Daniel, Rosalina stars as herself, and Miranda Cosgrove is playing herself in the show, but like is in the show because she's acting in the movie as Daniel's girlfriend. Alex as Oliver, Juanita as the girl in Oliver's new music video, with Mr. Wolf and Jessie playing themselves. So that is the synopsis of like the Mystery Girl TV special that season 3 opens up with. Now, in this episode, there's a whole scene where someone like bumps into Rosalina in the hallway and this pamphlet falls out from her like stack of books that she's holding, and it's a pamphlet for a like classical musical retreat at sea, basically, because she is, while playing bass in the band, she also is like a really good violinist apparently. So Nat goes crazy because he's like, oh my god, like Rosalina's gonna leave me for 6 months to go on this cruise and play all this classical music with all these other people. Oh my god. So there's trouble in paradise for them. And this is also, unfortunately, the last season of the Naked Brothers band, which is truly heartbreaking. Okay. So here's like blurb we have about the rest of the season. Rosalina temporarily leaves the band due to travel on a worldwide cruise. During her trip, the band members read the newspaper and the front cover depicts Rosalina kissing a French man. When Rosalina returns to visit, she and Nat have an internal dispute, and Rosalina subsequently quits the band. Because of this, the group must find a new bass player. Cooper calls for a Naked Idol contest, and the outfit selects Christina Reyes as their new bassist. However, Nat later makes up with Rosalina, and she rejoins the band while retaining Christina as well. So there's 2 bassists in the band now. I don't know why that's necessary. The premiere TV movie ends with them watching Magical Mystery Girl Movie in the theaters, as well as the band performing Nat's new song, Just a Girl I Know. All right? So that is season 3. That's how it ends. Like I said, truly a roller coaster. And this one episode where Rosalina comes back to visit and Michelle, the French man that she's been kissing on this cruise, like comes with her, and she tries to like get Nat to forgive her, but also Michelle is there, and Nat is like freaking out. He's like, what is he doing here? What is he doing in my studio? And then Nat like closes his hand in the elevator door, and Rosalina goes ballistic because she's like, he's a pianist. His hands are worth millions of dollars. Like, it's crazy. truly some of the best television out there, okay? So that's like a basic synopsis of the plot of the show. But another like large portion of it besides like the plot is the music. Like the music's obviously very big, okay? So now here I have listed some of my like top choices of the music. We've got Face in the Hall, which was released on the iCarly soundtrack in 2009, I believe. Then we have Crazy Car, which is like the OG song from the original movie in 2005. We have LA, Banana Smoothie, If That's Not Love, and Mystery Girl, which are all on the season 1 soundtrack. Your Smile, I Feel Alone are all on the season 2 soundtrack. And then they actually didn't release an album for season 3, which is like the biggest heartbreak of my life because that has some of their best music. So Curious and All I Needed are unfortunately not released for streaming, but you can find them on YouTube, okay?
Which one's your favorite one out of all of them?
Honestly, so probably Face in the Hall. Face in the Hall is really, really good, but there is this really cute scene of Nat serenading Rosalita outside her window because so she's mad at him because he seems to not care about her like giant cruise that she's gonna leave. Like she's like, you didn't even bother to ask me where I'm going. Like you're not excited for me. You're not supporting me. And he makes it up to her by going like putting a piano outside her window and serenading her with Your Song or Your Smile, and it's very cute. Okay. So like I said, they released a studio album with the music from 1 and 2, which are still found on streaming, so you should look those up on Spotify and Apple Music if you
Not
want.
you plugging the Naked Brothers band.
And like I said, unfortunately, we were robbed from getting the music for season 3. However, you can purchase an album titled Throwbacks.
Oh my God, Sally.
From Nat and Alex directly. And this features a lot of the unreleased Naked Brothers band music. So definitely check that out if you want to understand what we're getting at here. And just an honorable mention I included in my notes was that they wrote a song called Yes We Can, written for Barack Obama, with Natasha Bedingfield and Leon Thomas III. And now Leon Thomas III, you might recognize that name because he ends up being Andre in Victorious. And this is a wonderful screenshot I have of Nat, Natasha, and Leon singing Yes We Can in the Christmas episode of season 3. Right? So that's like the show, but I wanted to also dive in a little bit to where are they now, okay? So this is present day Nat and Alex that we have pictured on the screen. You might recognize them a little bit more. They're kind of really famous. Like they worked the Nepo baby pipeline. So they actually still make music together under the name Nat and Alex Wolf. So you can definitely also check them out on YouTube and streaming.
I don't like the way the left one's staring at me.
My personal favorite of theirs is the 2011 album called Black Sheep, featuring hits like Maybe, Sitting on My Sorrow, and The Greatest Prize. And most recently, they've released an album this year in 2023 titled Table for Two, which kind of has like a Simon and Garfunkel vibe if you're into that, okay? And they're also really big actors too. So Nat's been in films like Paper Towns, Admission, Fault in Our Stars, Stuck in Love, The Intern, and one of my favorite films, Home Again, and as well as the Netflix like live adaptation of Death Note. And then Alex has been in My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, Patriots Day, Hereditary, Oppenheimer, and is currently filming the spin-off prequel of A Quiet Place.
Oh,
they're kind of killing it. They really are killing it. So next we have Rosalina, aka Ali D'Amico. That's her real name. So she ended up like going to college. She went to Florida International University. But more recently, she's been on reality TV. So she went on to season 4 of Temptation Island, which is like a Peacock dating show, I think. Like Fox or Peacock dating show. And then after that, went on season 4 of X on the Beach. And what seemed interesting, I read into X on the Beach a little bit. It seems like they take people from these reality dating shows and put them on some like island and then bring on their exes also from the reality dating shows. And then they all like date each other, I think is the premise of that show. So go check her out on there if you're interested in what she's been up to. Right? Then we have Jessie. So Jessie actually went on to create a talk show that apparently won an Emmy. It was called The Valley Girl Show. And she's also a venture capitalist where she invests in female-founded companies with her company, Halogen Ventures. So she's like a Majilia billionaire now.
Wait, pop off, Jesse.
And then Kasim went on to American Idol. He placed 8th in season 14 of American Idol and has a couple acting credits in things like Atlanta and The Get Down. So he's also doing pretty well. And then Thomas, he was the cellist of the band. He left the public eye immediately after the show ended in 2009, and no one knows where he is now or what's he doing. Okay.
Oh my god, R.I.P.
I think he's still alive. Anyways, this is David.
Do you know that,
he
though?
was the keyboardist. David's the keyboardist. He's still acting, but like kind of irrelevant. Like hasn't really done anything. He's had credits in shows like SVU and Blue Bloods, but like who hasn't? And then
Everyone's been on SVU.
This is Manager Cooper. This isn't I couldn't find a recent photo of him. This is from his time with the band. He dropped out of the public eye as well and doesn't act anymore, but apparently he went to Tulane and founded an energy bar company. Oh, and that is the end of my PowerPoint. Like I said, this was truly a formative experience, like watching this show for me and listening to the music. So I highly recommend you go check them out and also buy their Throwbacks album if you want to hear like the real peak for them. Like I said, if you want to watch anything, I recommend season 3 because it really just is the best. And they have this really great TV special called Operation Mojo, where Nat and like his dad and his brother and the guys in the band go to like this remote area of the woods to try to get him his mojo back after being cheated on by Rosalina. And he's just like bawling his eyes the whole time and like so sad. And there's this like scene where like a bear like attacks him or like attacks the tent, but they're in this really cool tent. Like think the tent that the Weasleys and Harry are staying in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Like it's really awesome. So please go check them out. Thank you.
Woohoo! Okay, I have a couple questions for you. I took some notes.
Yes. Oh my god,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Thrilled.
Well, one, I can't help but look at our producer Mebby crochet. I think
She's knitting. That is knitting.
same thing. Tomato,
That's
tomato.
knitting. It is so not the same thing.
I'm enjoying watching Mebby doing her arts and crafts. How did you discover them? What led you to like turning on the TV and being like, I'm gonna watch the Naked Brothers Band?
So I don't know if like, I mean, they were on Nickelodeon. You know,
Mhm.
like it was like Zoe 101's episode Trading Places was on, and then immediately after was Operation Mojo, like that kind of thing, like that kind of
Okay.
same cultural impact in my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all know the Trading Places episode of Zoe 101, right? Or do I need to dive into that a little bit?
No, I think we know. Oh no,
Okay.
our producer Mebby's shaking her head. Give her a little burb.
Well, basically, this is like in the last season of Zoe 101. And like right before this, Zoe went to England to like study abroad boarding school. And Chase,
Been there,
you know,
done
she's meant to
that.
be with Chase. Chase stays behind at PCA. But then Zoe's like, oh my god, like I need to go get Chase. And Chase is like, oh my god, I need to go get Zoe. So as Zoe is flying back to California to get Chase, Chase is flying to England to get Zoe, and then they have to spend another semester apart. Yeah, like, yeah. And then even later on, he comes back and she is the new boyfriend, and it's Austin Butler. Like,
oh my
what?
god.
Okay, sorry to derail us again there.
No, that's quite all right. How do you think watching the Naked Brothers Band shaped you? And how do you think it affected what you look for in a new TV show to watch?
I think it's always proved that I love a show or something like that's got a soundtrack with it. Like I also do love Starstruck. I also do love that Canadian show that's on Netflix called Lost and Found. You should also check that out. Or The Next Step. That one doesn't have music, but it's like kind of adjacent to Lost and Found. Is better, but Lost and Found has the music. I think it's also like I'm checking up on Nat and Alex now. You know what I mean? Like I'm constantly supporting them in their endeavors and listening to their music. Like, they're like I'm invested in what they do next, kind of thing. And it wouldn't be that way if it weren't for this show.
Uh-huh.
And I also, like I said, like my sister and I used to watch this together. Like we both loved it. So it was also like we really bonded over it. And especially, I remember, like I said, season 3, they never released the music for it, but you can find it all on YouTube. And right around the time like this was happening is when my sister discovered like YouTube to MP3 converter downloader and like put it in her music library. So she like downloaded all the music for us and like put it on my iPod for me. And I was jamming out every day to The World As We Know It, which is the Naked Brothers Band version of what's the Billy Joel song? I'm blanking on. Fire. We Didn't Start the Fire. So it's basically the Naked Brothers Band version of We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. Also check that one out if you would like. It's really good.
We're gonna see like the Naked Brothers Band like becoming more popular now, and we're gonna know where it started.
Hey, if Allie, Nat, Alex, Jesse, Thomas, David Cooper, like any of you are listening and would like to be a guest on Bean by Banter, you are more than welcome. I would love to understand how being on the Naked Brothers Band has shaped your lives as well. I would love to chat with you about the music and maybe pick a bone with you over season 3 not being released on streaming, but we'll get there. But reach out.
Let's banter. Hit our line.
Like I said, Nat and Alex, I'm always supporting you in whatever you do. Even, especially if it's on my podcast.
You're so sweet, Sally.
Back in COVID, when like all the shows were doing like reunions and stuff, Naked Brothers Band did a Zoom reunion, and it was amazing. Like it was truly one of the like highlights of my life. Like seeing them all come together again.
Was it some good closure?
Later. 10 years later. Yeah, it was fascinating. It was fascinating because it was very interesting, but there was also no beef between any of them. Fascinating.
Was there supposed to be beef?
I don't know, but like, I guess they were kids when it happened, so like probably not, but wouldn't it be nice?
I really enjoyed your little tidbit of including Natasha Bedingfield. We all know that I'm her biggest stan.
That's why I had to include it for you. I knew you would love it.
Yeah, I didn't know that they collab.
Yeah, you can check it out on YouTube. You should look it up. Yeah. Yeah, hit them up. Naked Brothers Band on YouTube. You can find literally probably full episodes. Honestly, it's so old, but check it out.
I'm sure it's somewhere. I think you like really unlocked a memory for me when you also mentioned Tila Dunn.
Yeah,
I can compare her to like Joey King though. Like I despise both of them.
I like knew who she was because she was Juanita. Like I knew her as Juanita before I knew Tila. So like Tila, I've been behind you since day one.
Well, thank you, Sally, for sharing this niche interest
You're so
of yours.
I think you could tell I'm really passionate about it, so this was really nice to have this like outlet for me.
Yeah. And when I had mentioned before that I think our interests are going to be completely opposite, I was very much correct.
Can I just ask, like, have you heard of this before? Had you heard of Naked Brothers Band or Nat and Alex?
I have. I remember like seeing commercials. I was definitely more of a iCarly, Drake and Josh. I was more of a Disney Channel girl. I was.
Yeah, so iCarly and Drake and Josh are on Nickelodeon.
No, I know. I was just saying, like Nickelodeon, and then but I've seen them.
Those
I've
where you
heard
watch
of them.
Nickelodeon, but more so Disney.
Yeah.
Maybe had you heard of Nat and Alex or the Naked Brothers Band? Oh my god. Oh my god. So the listeners can't hear, but Mebby is telling me that she actually did watch the Naked Brothers Band and knows the hit song Taxi Cab. Mason, how we never talked about this before. Oh my gosh. Mason, this podcast has really just brought Mebby and I closer as friends. So shout out to that. All right, Trisha, should we dive into yours? I'm so excited to hear what you have brought to the table today.
I'm kind of nervous now because mine takes a really big turn. Mine gets a little dark.
No, it's okay. You know, when you're screen sharing, like, you actually can't see the other people on Riverside, so it's kind of like you're just talking to yourself. So don't be nervous.
Oh.
I could not see your reactions.
Wait, I'm like over here like smiling at you with my mouth open. Like I'm so invested in what you were talking about.
Well,
so
it just means that I'm gonna have to watch the episode back. Yes. I can look.
Can we see?
I love the color scheme you've chosen. Yes.
Thank you. Is it full screen?
Or
no?
I can see like.
You can see my top thing, right?
No, I can only see the orange like of the slide. I can't see like your browser tabs.
Okay, cool. So Trisha's niche interest by me, Trisha. So I actually had a hard time picking out one interest. So here's just a few. I don't actually go into any one of these, but for our audio listeners, I have aquariums and ocean life. For those of you who don't know, I have a little koi fish tattoo on my leg. I enjoy watching. I enjoy watching fish. I will have like live aquariums going on like my screen, pretty frequently. But I digress. Vespas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. I get you.
Yeah. Even just this picture, like if you're an audio listener, go onto YouTube and go look at this picture. That rustic, dirty Vespa. And then we have scents and fragrances. I think one of the biggest compliments, or like not biggest, one of my favorite compliments to get is that I smell good. So I've like really like taken pride in the fragrances I wear. I also gatekeep them. So I hate when people ask me what I wear or try to like get more information on it. I'm like, no. Like I mix. That's always my answer. I mix perfumes. You'll never know. But
secretive.
Yes. I don't talk about any of these. So drum roll. I'm gonna hope that we can hear the drum roll. Cults. I have. It sucks that I can't see.
This is a niche interest you've chosen to present?
Yes, it is.
Oh my god, I'm actually so excited. I can't wait to. I'm so curious about like what cults you're gonna bring to the table. Like
I do focus on one particular cult. Probably my favorite. Trigger warning now. I talk about the Jonestown Massacre. Have you heard of this cult?
Yes, I have heard of it. However, like, could not tell you anything about it in this moment. So I'm really thrilled for this educational dive in. And informative day. Yes, please.
Yes. So what was the Jonestown Massacre? The People's Temple, I'm just literally going to read off the slide. The People's Temple, led by Jim Jones, had a complex and evolving set of beliefs. Initially, it presented itself as a progressive interracial church with the focus on social justice and equality. Jones claimed to be a prophet and espoused principles of racial integration, socialism, and communal living. However, as the cult progressed, it became increasingly authoritarian and adopted more extreme beliefs. So, for those watching, on the right is obviously Jim Jones. So the massacre, which occurred on November 18th, 1978, was a horrific event in which over 900 people or 900 members of the People Temple died in a mass murder suicide in Jonestown, Guyana. Jones made his followers consume cyanide laced fruit punch. So that's where, have you heard of the term don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
So
Oh.
this is where it comes from.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Yes. So what this dude did, he essentially ran a church and brought all these people from, I think he started in Indiana and then moved to California and then had problems and such with the government, so completely moved to Guyana with all these people. And they did their life there. They followed his practices, and they had eventually sent a congressman down to Guyana to investigate the cult. And that led Jones to creating his Kool-Aid and essentially killing everyone, and winds up.
So like erasing the evidence kind of deal.
He's like, if we go down together.
Gotcha.
That was his thing. Like, we're all fighting for the same thing. Like, we can't let them stop us. Let's prove the point. Let's, we're all in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's my little don't drink the the Kool-Aid. I didn't have such a long presentation because I didn't know how much of how much cult talk I should be doing.
Into
yes, and it was actually pretty hard to find pictures.
I bet.
Yeah, just because a lot of the pictures, I mean, this one's a little bit more zoomed out. For our audio listeners, it's literally a bunch of dead people on a field.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's literally all these people just dead. And I remember him. I want to say he made the women and children drink first.
Oh my God, this is so creepy. Yeah. This is creeping me out.
So
Ugh.
This is a very strange niche interest. I think the idea of someone being a cult leader though is extremely fascinating. Like the amount of charisma you have, and then how you can just manipulate people to 900 people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's not just them, it's their whole families.
It's everybody. It's everybody. And people that try to escape. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I stopped sharing my screen, but I don't know if you can see me.
Yeah, I can. You're back, Trish.
Hey, I'm back. What was I gonna say? But just the thought of someone having that much power over that much I get everyone's following him because they have the same beliefs, and I'll joke around being oh, the sorority I was in was such a cult and all these things, but I get it. I get that we have the same philosophies and whatnot, but having that much power over someone, I think is such a bizarre thing to think about.
Yeah, I honestly I totally get where you come from with being just interested in cults, because it's such an abstract concept to us, you know what I mean? I mean, I've probably told you this, but I watched, if you've seen Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey.
I have not.
The documentary about Warren Jeffs and the FLDS.
Okay.
If you love this stuff, you would love that series. It's so fascinating, and it's also extra fascinating because it's they're very loosely tied together. But in college, my roommates and I loved watching Sister Wives, who are part of, I don't know, I don't want to say what church they're part of because I don't know for certain. I don't want to misspeak on that, but there's very loose connections there, so that's why we watched the show, and it was so good and so fascinating. So I think you would really like it.
Yeah, I definitely love the true crime stuff, and there's like certain ones
Mhm.
like cult stuff like this one. And have you heard of like the Waco one too?
Yeah, yeah. And
And
like
like and
the Charles Manson one.
yes, yes. I was actually like I was debating on doing cults for this, but then I was just like I was into just true crime in general and dive into specific ones. Do you know the Menendez brothers,
Mhm.
like their whole story and like was
No, but I
ups
really want to watch a true crime on them. You have
oh
to give
my
me a recommendation
gosh.
for like a true crime for
Yes.
them.
Yes. I think there's a little documentary
There's
on
something coming
Hulu.
out, isn't it? But
Oh,
isn't
is
there
there?
like
No, I
new
think it's
like
already
a
out.
it's a but it's a it's like scripted series coming out about them, right?
Yes, yes. So like the Gianni Versace and the OJ Simpson, like those
Oh,
were I
they
was obsessed
oh
with. So the same people that created that,
okay,
they're
okay.
creating the Menendez brothers one.
Well, did you watch the Monica Lewinsky one?
I didn't.
I didn't either. I've never seen Versace or OJ either, but I always thought about it.
They were so well done. Like
I know
the woman they had.
Darren Chris won the all the awards for playing the guy that assassinated him. Versace.
Mhm. The actress that they had playing Donatella, I don't even remember who it was, but spot on. It was incredible.
Okay, well, maybe I have to watch those. Those sound good.
Yes.
Um, I have a couple questions for you now, following up on this niche interest of yours.
Okay.
I would say, do you think that? Oh my god, I literally thought of this question. And I've lost my train of thought.
I can already like think about I can, I can
Huh?
already imagine like what people are thinking. Guys, I promise I'm not crazy. Cults are just cool.
Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not crazy. Cults are cool.
Okay,
Is
yeah.
a normal sentence to say, but okay.
The idea of
Mm.
a cult is fascinating.
Did you know that the Phoenixes, like River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix, grew up in
Mhm.
a cult?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did. Do you know Mila Kunis grew up in a cult?
Yes, I did.
Mm. I know it's
Mm.
kind of crazy, because it's also weird. I feel like you always hear about the really bad ones, but there are ones where people just grow up and live their lives. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there are people who've had totally normal experiences
In
in
cults.
cults.
Yep.
Look at Mila. Well,
Well, right now she's not uh
she had. She
she
had been having a fairly normal experience in life.
yes. I'm surprised we actually haven't talked about that, but we'll leave that
I just
for a
don't even want to touch that. It's so you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Okay. That works.
All right. So, I think that is our episode on niche interests. I don't know about you, Trisha, but I had a wonderful time not only filming this episode but getting ready for it and getting my PowerPoint together and all of that. It really I got to listen to a lot of my old faves. I had a great time. I don't know about you.
I did. I enjoyed making my presentation about cults. And I'm actually looking forward to, niche interest part 2.
Yeah, definitely. This will be a little
Yes.
series we have.
Of course. I'm going to do I'm going to do one on a little bit of a lighter note. For sure. I really wanted to just dive right in on the first one, but
I'm not sure if this was clear, but Trish and I didn't tell each other what our niche interests were going into this, so it was total surprise. Hence the little bit of emotional whiplash we got there. But still very fun either way. So as we said, this was probably also had the visual element, so go check us out on YouTube if you want to see the PowerPoints that Trisha and I put together as well.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, don't drink the Kool-Aid.